Hi everyone, it's Cindy. So I'm here today with just a little casual creativity sampler play today to document my Rebel Witch project that I just completed. And I have lots of leftovers because I printed this beautiful Rebel Witchery kit a couple of times and I sort of used it in different ways. So what I did without you beforehand is I just kind of glued down a basis of some of the papers that I used in the journal just to cover the text page in this book. So I'm going to use the same method that I've been using, where I use like I cut out stamps basically of the leftover things that I want to use. So this is a page from a book, a graphic art book that I used some content in that journal. So I want to grab this really cool steampunky kind of girl here from that. And I'll leave the rest over here because I'm not sure if I want to use it or not. So I want to do a bit of journaling down here. So today is, I think, August, I think it's like the 16th. So I'm just going to write The Old Wives' Tale. A Rebel Witchery journal, or Rebel Witch journal. So I'll use this purple space down here to do my journaling about this project, and I'll use everything up here to kind of add my stamps of the leftovers of the project. So I think I definitely want to use this skull. Use some of this side, and then I've got this butterfly here. That was on a journal card that I made, and this is kind of cool with this face. I've been getting so many projects finished, it feels so good. Although I really need to hustle on a few things because I'm trying to get things done before I go away in September on my little holiday, so we shall see how that goes. But it's okay if I don't get everything done. I'm not going to stress. Grab this. Alright, so I'll start to lay these out because there's just so much that I could use here, but I don't want to have too much stuff that I end up messing up the whole page because there's just too much stuff to put down. So today is a nice day. I took my daughter to her swimming lesson this morning, and she had a really good time, and she did a lot of good swimming, and she's having a lot of fun. I think she's possibly a little bit advanced for the class that I put her in, but I started her on the first one because I didn't know how it would go, if she would feel overwhelmed or not. We're just kind of taking a few baby steps into things, since this whole social distancing thing. We're trying to get a little tiny bit back into things that are slightly lower risk. But yeah, it's still a gamble, of course. But I do want her to get some swimming lessons. I mean, I can teach her myself, but it is nice to have other voices, to sort of help her along. And it's good to have other voices when it comes to kids. And also other people telling her, to, stay on track and pay attention to what's going on. I think there's a lot of benefit in that. And also to hang out with the other little kids. And it's a nice mix of kids, which is great. Some of them I think have never touched water before. They're really new to the whole experience. And it's actually pretty sweet to watch them kind of getting their feet in and getting used to the experience. It's really sweet. And seem like they're nice little kids. And the instructors are like teenagers who have been really good with the kids so far. I've liked what I've seen. And that's also kind of a nice, like, mentor, peer kind of person to have. Okay. Alright, so we'll keep that there, add this here, add this here. I have to include him because this is the funniest part of the whole kit to me. And I may add a couple more over here and just leave myself a little bit of space. I don't need a ton of space. I'm not going to write a novel on this, on these projects as I document them, but maybe one more, and I'll use her because I really like her. Okay. Take all these leftovers and I'll put them in my scrap bin here because I'll still probably use that stuff. Yeah, and then I have like work obviously today. It's lunchtime right now and I have a couple of afternoon meetings, and then after that I think I might take my daughter to a local arcade slash bowling alley because we've never done that before. And it's a place where we can wear our masks. Last night I had the best experience. So we went to, I had a couple of like things to do, like just regular old life chores kind of stuff, picking up bits and bobs. And my daughter said from the back seat of the car, "Mom, I want to do something different." And I totally get where she's coming from because having been sick, she's been kind of stuck, you know, mostly inside and like doing kind of boring stuff, resting and such. And so I just sort of looked around the parking lot and thought, like, what can we do on, like, you know, a weekday evening around 7 o'clock when there's not much open. And I saw a PetSmart in the parking lot and I thought, hey, let's go to the PetSmart and we'll take a look at the rescue cats and, you know, whatnot. So we ended up going in, and my husband and I have been talking a bit about like starting to try taking our son into more public places with his mask on. So he's still very new to mask wearing. So we also want to be able to like, you know, go places with the intention of being able to keep him away from people, like crowded kind of areas, not have him be in the breathing space of others, you know, because he's a really sociable little kid. Like he's only 2, so mask wearing is not consistent for him. Like we're trying, right? And so last night he was amazing. So we put the mask on him, and at first he was kind of playing with it and, you know, like putting it in his mouth a little bit, like while he was wearing it, and so, you know, not ideal. But then he kind of got distracted and he was looking at the fish and the fish tanks, and like people were talking to him, like the staff, and he just stopped messing with it and left it alone the whole time we were there for about a half hour. And they looked at the all the little rodents and the fish, and there were no cats in the adoption area, but I'm guessing maybe because of the time of day, or maybe they've all been adopted, or they're, you know, there's some reason. But we did get to see some puppies in the puppy class, and that was nice. And then we took our dog, our little toasty dog, with us, and he was a super good boy and just wandered around and didn't cause any problems because he's just a good dog. And what else did we do? We saw a Pac-Man frog, which is like the coolest frog, and we saw some lizards. Yeah, so it was a nice little, like, you know, kind of no-brainer activity for the kids. And I always like going to PetSmart, like, as a place to walk, like, my dogs when they were puppies. I used to do that a lot because it's good, kind of easy social experience if you don't have a dog park near you, which I do now, but I never used to. And also my dogs are always little dogs pretty much for the last several years of my life. So you don't find a lot of dog parks that are good for little dogs, really, sometimes, but a lot of the time it's mostly big dogs roaming around, and my little dogs would get a little bit overwhelmed. And now I just have a cranky old, like, 15-year-old Chihuahua, so he's not super cranky, he's a little cranky, but like he doesn't want to be bugged, I think, by other dogs a whole lot. Okay, so that is my page for the Rebel Witch journal. I'm going to write a few little thoughts here about making that journal. It was a lot of fun. It was something different, which is nice. And I'm excited because I'm actually like about to start a new journal. And I think I'm actually going to work on 2 journals at the same time, one with Patreon and one here on YouTube. So yeah, I'm excited to get started. There will be videos coming on that soon, and until then, thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk again very soon. If you haven't yet subscribed, I would love it if you did, and have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.